Hello, this is Ms. Harris here to talk to you about conversions of measurement. This is a fourth grade and fifth grade skill. So, before we get into it, our steps are number one, anytime you read a word problem, you need to do your case steps. That's for solving word problems. You're looking for your keywords, the question that was asked, what strategy are you going to solve with, and evaluate. I'm ready to work it out. Step 2, you're going to draw your tic-tac-toe board. Step 3, fill in the middle units of your tic-tac-toe board, and that's units, equal sign, and multiplication. Step 4, on the first row, you need to put the units that the question is talking about, and you want to put the big one first and the small one last. Step 5, on row 2, you're writing down what your measurement chart says about those units. And step 6, on row 3, you're writing down the equation that you're going to solve. So let's look and see what that looks like. First, here's our measurement conversions. Fourth grade, you need to know most of these by heart. Fifth grade, you will have a reference chart on test day for you to look back at. Okay, so a piece of wood is 4 feet long. How many inches long is the piece of wood? So my first step says that I'm doing my case. So that means I'm reading it more than one time and I'm circling things that are important. A piece of wood is 4 feet long. That's important. How many inches long is the piece of wood? Write the answer in the box. All right, so I've circled what's important, feet and inches, and my answer needs to be in inches. So that means I'm doing measurement conversion. So step 2, I draw my tic-tac-toe board. Just like if you were going to play tic-tac-toe with a friend. Okay. Next step, I'm going to fill in the middle of my board. So we're going to put units. Remember, units is the type of measurement they're talking about. That's your inches, feet, pints, pounds, gallons, all that good stuff. Equal, we're going to put that in the middle because we're going to look on the chart or think about what we know. And then multiplication. Fourth grade, because of the standard, you're only going to be multiplying in fourth grade to do these measurement conversions. But in fifth grade, you'll do multiply or you'll divide. And the way you know is if you're going from a big unit to a small unit, you're multiplying. If you're going from a small unit to a big unit, you're dividing. So let's look. Our units for this question, and your big unit goes first. If I'm dealing with feet and inches, remember feet, you're supposed to think about a ruler. Inches, you think about the size of from where you bend your thumb to the end of it, or a paper clip. So feet to inches, I'm going from feet to inches. So that means I'm multiplying because feet is bigger than inches. Step 2, I look at my chart or think about what do I know about feet and inches. I know that 1 foot equals to 12 inches. Next step, on the third row, I'm going to write down my equation. Feet, based on the question. So what did my question tell me about feet? They said 4 feet. So I'm going to put 4 down here. Times, what did my question say about inches? It didn't say anything, so I get it right here from my tic-tac-toe board. 12. And now I'm ready to work it out. 12 times 4. And that should be a simple multiplication fact. 48 inches. So we just converted 4 feet into 48 inches. All right, let's try another one. Remember, you can press pause, try it yourself, press play, and check your work. A bucket contains 7 pounds of sand. How many ounces of sand are in the bucket? First step is my case. I read it again and circle what's important. A bucket contains 7 pounds of sand. How many ounces of sand are in the bucket? So I know I'm doing measurement conversions because they told me about pounds. That's 1 unit. But the question said how many ounces. That's a different unit. So step 2, draw my tic-tac-toe board. And then I fill in the middle of my board, units, equal, and times. Next, what are the units from the question? They said pounds and ounces. I need my big one to come first. So pounds, I'm supposed to think about a can of vegetables. Ounces, you think about a slice of bread, one slice of bread. So pounds is bigger. And then I have ounces. These are the abbreviations for those, but if you want to, you can write out the whole word. Row 2, on the second row, what does my chart say about pounds and ounces, or what am I supposed to remember about pounds and ounces? I know that 1 pound equals 16 ounces. Row 3, I'm writing my equation based on what's in the question. What did the question tell me about pounds? 7. What did the question tell me about ounces? Nothing, so I get it from my tic-tac-toe board. So 16 times 7. All right, so we know how to multiply. 4th grade, we're using the area model. If you're in 5th grade, you might be using standard algorithm or another type of standard algorithm that helps you. If you need different strategies for how to multiply, look back at a different video of mine with multiplying whole numbers and find a strategy that works for you. All right, so 10 goes all the way down. 7 comes all the way across, and I'm multiplying inside each box. Remember, focus on what's not 0. 1 times 7 is 7, and I have an extra 0. 6 times 7 is 42. And the last step, I need to add these back together because I broke them apart with the expanded form. So you need to put them back together. And that would be 11. 112 ounces. So we just converted 7 pounds of sand into 112 ounces of sand. Let's try another one. All right, Taylor's jump rope is shown in the diagram below. They said this is the rope, and this line here is telling you that that rope measures 4 yards. Which measurement is the same as the length of Taylor's jump rope? All right, so I have some multiple choices here. They said either it's going to be feet, or inches. All right, step 1 in my case, let's reread and circle what's important. I see 4 yards here. Which measurement is the same and length of the jump rope? And then I see that I have feet, inches. All right, so same, I know that means equal in math, same or equal to. So they said I'm trying to find which one of these is equal to 4 yards. All right, so I'm doing measurement conversions because I'm using different units. So let's go with our first step and draw our tic-tac-toe board. And really the tic-tac-toe board is just to help you put all your important information in one place so you can see how to work the problem. All right, so I fill in the middle, units. And if you want to, you get tired of writing the word units, you can put a UN or the letter U, whichever works for you. All right, so I got different choices here. So I got feet and inches. So I'm going to try feet first and see if one of those answers will work. And then we'll try, come over here and try inches and see if one of those answers will work. All right, so yards is bigger. And we're doing feet first because that's the first answer choice. So basically we're doing process of elimination. All right, what does my chart say about yards and feet? Or what am I supposed to remember about yards and feet? I know that 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. All right, the next row, what does my question tell me about the yards? They told me 4 yards. And what does my question tell me about feet? Nothing, so I'm going to bring this down. Okay, so 4 times 3 equals to what? 12 feet. So is 4 yards equal to 12 feet? Oh, I do have a 12 feet right here. So that might be my answer. But let's keep going with the inches and make sure. All right, so I come back over here for my units, equal and times. This time yards and inches. And they told me about 4 yards. I'm sorry, wrong step. My charts, I need my chart information, not the question. So my chart says 1 yard equals 2 inches would be 36. Okay. Now my question tells me 4 yards and didn't tell me anything about inches. So 36 times 4. All right, so I come over here, draw my box. I only need 2 boxes because I have a 2-digit number and a 1-digit number. 30 comes down, 6 comes down, 4 goes across, multiplying in each box. Focus on what's not zero. 3 times 4 is 12, and I have 1 0. 6 times 4 is 24, and now I'm ready to add those together, and that will give us 4, 4, and 1. And that's for inches. So do I have that answer choice? No, I do not. So A is the correct answer. So no matter how they ask the question, okay, you're still working it out the same way. You just have to use your case and see how they're asking you the question. Try another one. All right, these are your easy ones. Sometimes they might give you just a simple question like this and say, hey, convert this measurement. So when you're studying your chart, you also need to pay attention to your abbreviations. LB, that means pounds. That's the abbreviation for pounds. And then OZ is the abbreviation for ounces, okay? And not to get confused with the ounces under your fluid units for fluid. That's fluid ounces or FL ounces, okay? Just OZ will be your pounds and ounces. All right, so I'm going to draw my chart, my tic-tac-toe, sorry. Fill in the middle, what goes in the middle. Remember, you should be pressing pause and trying it yourself. And you should have paper and pencil beside you because you should be doing it with me. Okay, my units from the question are pounds and ounces. Pounds are bigger than ounces, so I put pounds first. From my chart, what does my chart tell me about pounds and ounces? 1 pound equals 16 ounces. And now what does my question tell me about the units? Well, the questions told me 4 pounds. The question didn't tell me any ounces, so I used the ounces that are in my tic-tac-toe. So 16 times 4. And we just did this one, but I don't remember what it was, so I'm going to do it again. 10 plus 6 and 4 on the side. Everything at the top needs to come down. Everything on the side goes across. So 10 times 4 is 40. And 6 times 4 is 24. And now I'm ready to add those together. And notice how I'm not doing anything in my head. Please show your work. The more you practice, the more information you retain. 4 plus 2 is 6. So that's 64 ounces. So we converted 4 pounds into 64 ounces. Next question. A box of bananas weighs 40 pounds. How many ounces does the box of bananas weigh? All right, use your case and read it again to find your important information. A box of banana weighs 40 pounds. So obviously my number 40 and my unit pounds. How many ounces does the box of bananas weigh? And then they have ounces. All right, so I'm using different units. Nothing is the same. And a big clue in math, you should never try to combine or do math with things that are not alike. So if they're different, you're supposed to be doing something to make them the same before you can answer a question. Fill in the middle. My units from the question, the big one was pounds. My small one was ounces. Row 2, I look at my chart, or by now I should be remembering 1 pound equals 16 ounces. And from the question, They told me 40 for pounds. They did not tell me anything for ounces, so I look in my tic-tac-toe board and I use the 16. So now I'm ready to multiply. All right, so remember, save yourself some work. If you have a 0 at the end of one of your numbers you're multiplying with, focus on what's not 0. So I already know I'm going to have a 0 at the end of my answer, whatever it is. So 16 times 4. And we just did that one, and I still don't remember what it was. But I'll do another strategy, so in case someone does a different strategy. So this strategy is called standard algorithm. You line them up like you would if you were adding. Start in the ones place. 6 times 4 is 24. You put your 4, just like if you were adding, you carry that 2 to the next place. Put a little plus sign. Go back to your 4. 4 times 1 is 4, plus the 2 I carried, 5, 6, 64. So 40 times 16 is 640. And what are we talking about? 640 ounces. Okay, so we just converted 40 pounds into 640 ounces. Try another one. Remember to press pause, try it by yourself, and then press play. Okay, 45 pounds is equal to blank ounces. So I draw my chart. And I know this one's the same way, so I'm going to go ahead and put it over here as well. And fill in my middle. £45. Pounds is bigger. I know my chart says 1 pound equals 16 ounces. What does my question say about pounds? It says 45. And what does it say about ounces? It doesn't say anything, so I'm going to use my 16 that I already have. All right, so in the last one, we saw that 40 times 16 was 640. So I need 5 more for my repeated addition people. Just showing a different kind of strategy so that people can find the best way for them. And okay, so you could try repeated addition. All right, I'm going to, and that again, that 640 came from the last question. 16 times 4, 40 was 640. So if I know I got 604, oh, I'm doing it wrong. Sorry, I need 5 more 16s. My apologies. If you're doing repeated addition, not 640. 16. 5 more 16s if you're going to do repeated addition. We stopped at 40. 40 16s, groups of 16 gave us 640. And if you're going for 45, you need 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll put it up here because I ran out of room. Okay. So 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 times 5 is 30. So put our 0, carry out 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So put our 2 and carry out 1. And that's 720. So 45 times 16 be 720. And 720 what? Ounces. So we just converted 45 pounds to 720 ounces. So now we're back over here with 5 tons equals blank pounds. All right, my biggest unit in this question is tons, because tons, you think about a car, and pound, you think about a can of vegetables. All right, I apologize. Second row is from my chart. I know that my chart says 1 ton is equal to 2,000 pounds. And then the third row is for my question. My question said 5 for tons and 2. It didn't say anything for pounds, so I use what's in my tic-tac-toe. All right, remember, focus on what's not 0. 5 times 2 is 10. And then how many extra zeros are in your problem? 3. 1, 2, 3. So 5 tons is equal to 10,000 pounds. All right. Next. Now, these should be more familiar to you, but they're also in your conversion chart as well. All right, so 3 years is equal to blank days. So I'm trying to convert years into days. Start in the middle. My units equal and multiply. I have years. Those are bigger than days. My chart, or I'm supposed to already know that 1 year is equal to 365 days. My question says 3 years and doesn't tell me anything about days, so I use what's in my tic-tac-toe. So I'm trying to multiply 365 times 3. All right, so area model people, I draw my box. I need 3 sections because 365. Remember, I break it into place value, expanded form. And then I put my 3 on the side. Whatever's at the top comes down. Whatever's on the side comes across, and I'm trying to multiply. All right, so 300 times 3. Remember, focus on what's not 0. 3 times 3 is 9, 2 zeros, plus, focus on what's not 0. 6 times 3 is 18, and 1 0. And 5 times 3 is 15. And we add all that up. So 5, 9, and 10. So 3 years is equal to 1,095 days. All right, and then over here we have 2 days equals blank hours. Remember, press pause and try it yourself. Hopefully you try both of these on your own, and now you're just checking your work. All right, start in the middle. Look in the question for my units. They are days and hours. My big one goes first. So days goes here and hours go here. What do I already know about days and hours? I know that 1 day equals 24 hours. And my question says, what about days? 2. My question says, what about hours? Nothing. So I use what's in my tic-tac-toe, 24. So 24 times 2. Or 24 plus 24, those that still like repeated addition. And I'm going to do another multiplication strategy. 4 times 2, starting in the ones place, is 8. And then I go over 2 and times 2 is 48. So 2 days is equal to 48 hours. We converted 2 days into 48 hours. All right, one more. Well, 2 more questions. Last slide. All right. Ian works 8 hours a day. Neil works 500 minutes a day. Who works longer each day? So yes, you will have questions that's going to ask you which amount is bigger. But again, don't just look at 8 and 500. In math, things have to be the same before you can do anything. So I'm not dealing with the same units. So first we have to make them the same before we can answer the question. Okay? So my case, I reread the question to get my important information. Ian works 8 hours a day. Neil works 500 minutes a day. Who works longer? My question they want me to answer is who works longer each day? Again, hours and minutes are different. I need to make them the same. So we're going to Draw our board. Fill in the middle. My bigger amount is hours. And then minutes. What do I know about hours and minutes? I know 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So, what has my question told me about hours? It's going to be 8. Now, when you look up here, I know my question is telling me something about minutes, but the only thing I'm trying to do is change these 8 hours into minutes. So I'm not going to use 500 minutes. That's belong to the other person. And we're trying to compare who did the most. So first I need to be looking at minutes and minutes. So I'm not going to use 500 here. I'm going to keep my 60 from my tic-tac-toe. So 8 times 60. All right, so again, I got a 0, so I can save myself some hard work. Focus on what's not 0. 8 times 6 is 48. And then I put my 0. So Ian works, we just converted his 8 hours into what? 480 minutes. So now let's reread the question. I'm going to scratch out 8 hours because we changed it. So Ian works 480 minutes a day. Neil works 500 minutes a day. Who works longer each day? So now that I have something that's the same, 480 minutes, 580 minutes, I know 500 minutes is greater than 480. So your answer to the question is Neil. All right, try the next one. Again, you can press pause, try it yourself, and then press play to check your work. Brianna's kitchen renovation took 4 weeks. How many days did the renovation take? All right, reread it and find your important info. Brianna's kitchen renovation took 4 weeks. How many days did the renovation take? So they're asking me to change it into days, so I need my tic-tac-toe. We're doing measurement conversion. Fill in the middle. My units from the question go on row 1, but I start with the bigger one, which is weeks, and then days. I know from my chart, or I know off the top of my head, that 1 week equals 7 days. All right, and then from the question, they told me 4 weeks. From days, they didn't tell me anything. So I use, and it's safe to say that once you get that one from the question, just use whatever you had on that second row, bring it down. It's safe to say that by now. All right, so now I'm ready to work that out. 4 times 7 equals 28. 28 what? Days. So we just converted 4 weeks into 28 days. All right, I hope this was helpful. I will be coming with you for your conversion with your fluid measurements, your gallons and your cups, pints, quarts. That will be a different video, so be looking for that one. And I hope this was helpful. Thank you.